Brian.Dehn here. Welcome back to my vlog called So You Want to Be a Principal. In this episode, which is number 4, I'm going to finish up the topic of putting your socks on. Yes, putting your socks on, which I started in the last episode. And speaking of the last episode, I want to start by recapping what I talked about, since that episode was basically part 1 and this is part 2. I talked about my model for career advancement and that the majority of advice in this vlog series is based on this model. It consists of 2 layers: the foundation, which are the basics, and then going above and beyond. The foundation is where you meet the expectations of you in your current role, assuming you do your job well. It's where you put your socks on. The above and beyond layer is where your career growth and advancement happen. The key point is that you must put your socks on if you want to have any chance of advancing in your career. The foundational checkbox items that I discussed in the last episode were bringing your best, doing your current job with excellence, keeping current on all the basic responsibilities and requirements of your current job, and knowing your strengths and weaknesses. In this episode, I want to finish up the foundational topics so we can move to the above and beyond next time. So, the next checkbox item I'm going to talk about is around understanding your passions and drains. Your passions are those things you get excited about, the things that light up your face when you talk about them. The drains are kind of the opposite. They're the things that sap your energy, that bring you down. Think about it this way. You've got this inner gas tank. Some things fill that tank, and some things drain that tank. You'll never be able to completely avoid things that drain your tank. And if you do, please, let me know, please. However, since I'm guessing you'll always have things that drain you, you need to find ways to keep refilling your tank. And one of the ways to fill your tank is to focus on your passions. So I know I'm coming from a professional career perspective in this vlog, but my recommendation is that you find ways to fill your tank both within your job and outside of your job. And if you're really lucky, you'll find things you're passionate about in your personal life that you can use in your professional life as well. I'll give you an example, and I'll get a little personal here. I have a physical activity that fills my tank outside of work, and that's mountain biking. I live in Denver, Colorado, basically at the base of the Rocky Mountains. From my house, it only takes a few minutes for me to ride into hilly, open country where I don't see cars or houses or people. It's a great way for me to get away, get some physical activity, and fill my tank. I also have a hobby, which is video. So whether I'm mountain biking in the Rocky Mountains or snorkeling in Hawaii, I've found a way to double up on what fills my tank by mixing video with these other activities. And I use video in a few different ways to fill my tank. One way is as a volunteer at my church, where I lead the video production team. We have a team of 10 to 12 people, including video directors, camera operators, media gurus, and we produce live streaming video of our church services every week. And in these days of COVID, live streaming has taken on a new level of importance compared to a few years ago. So, church. I've also found a way to use my passion for video at work. And that's this. I'm doubling up on one passion, which is video, with another passion, which is helping people with their careers. Can it get any better than that? All that to say, we're always going to have drains in our lives, so find something that fills your tank. And if you can double up on it, all the better. Next, take all roadblocks off the table. Those things that might prevent you from moving forward to where you want to be, get rid of them, to the extent possible, of course. Another way to think about this is Never give anyone a reason to not advance you. I'll say that one again. Never give anyone a reason to not advance you. That's what I'm talking about when I say get rid of roadblocks. Anything that would give anyone hesitation about advancing you, do what you can to get rid of those things. If it means doing a better job of doing the grunge work that every job has, then do it. If it means you need to fix something in your reputation, then get working on it. That one's harder to fix and will probably take longer. Whatever it is, do your best to get rid of those roadblocks. And that ties right into the last of the foundational items I want to talk about, your reputation. I'm going to ask you a direct question. Do you know what your reputation is? Everyone has a reputation. Do you know what yours is? Honestly, this one's tough for a few reasons. Think about what a reputation actually is. It's the beliefs or opinions that other people have about you. And none of us can control what other people think. We can only influence what they think. On the other hand, what they think about you has a lot to do with you. Your behavior, your words, your work ethic, your responsiveness. Here's a big one. Your attitude. Ouch. Your reputation, although you can't completely control it, stems primarily from you. You may have a great reputation. Great, you've got a head start. You may know that your reputation is not that great. Then at least you know that you have a decision to make. Right? Is there value in you making the effort to fix your reputation? If there is, then get working on it. Know that improving a reputation takes time. People form their opinions, perceptions of you over time as they watch you. If you need to improve your reputation, you'll need to show them, prove to them that they should change their opinions of you, and that will take time. Worst case, your reputation's not very good and you don't know it. I've seen this multiple times in my career. I've been directly involved in situations where a person is clearly lying or hiding something, and then they try and cover it up with more lies. And they think that they were successful. What they didn't realize is that it was pretty obvious to me and other people what they were doing. And the result was us having negative opinions of them, and they never realized it. So look, I totally understand that people make mistakes. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. Bummer. How do you handle your mistakes? Do you own up to them? How you handle your mistakes goes a long way towards building a good reputation. However, when there's a pattern of bad behavior, that's what makes for a bad reputation. And to fix that, you need to replace that pattern of bad behavior with a pattern of good behavior, which takes time. It's a lot easier to ruin a reputation than it is to build a good one. Let me ask you this. What's your attitude? How do you come across to people? Is your attitude such that people enjoy working with you? Want to work with you? Or do people work with you only when they absolutely have to? When it comes to advancing in your career, you are going to be dependent on other people to some extent. So, do other people want to help you? Or is your attitude such that you're undermining whatever hopes you have for your career? I can think of people right now that I would go out of my way to help, to go to bat for because of their good attitudes. I want to work with them, to help them. I can also think of a lot of really smart people with abrasive attitudes, egotistical attitudes, bad attitudes, and that really hurts their careers. And like it or not, people talk. Regardless of whether your reputation is good or bad, people are going to talk about you. Like I said in previous episodes, your reputation is going to precede you whether you like it or not. So Jackie McKay, Sean Klein, their reputations precede them in a good way. I won't name names, but I can think of people right now whose reputations are preceding them in a bad way, and they don't even realize it. All right, this got a bit heavy. Let's end this on a positive note. You have the opportunity is yours, to build a strong foundation for advancing your career. I've given you a few tangible ways over the past 2 episodes to do just that. Take advantage of it. Get to work on it. Build that foundation that's going to support you long into your career. Put your socks on. And in my next episode, I'm going to get into the above and beyond. You've got that foundation solid. You're committed to keeping that foundation solid through the long term. It's a marathon. Now, how do you build on it? How do you grow your career? How do you advance your career? How do you make all that happen? That's what I'll get into my next episode, the above and beyond. See you next time.